Are you constantly second guessing yourself on whether you should use soy or estoy when speaking Spanish? What if I told you there was an easy way to decide which one to use in just seconds? I mean, hey, we've all been there. You're speaking, you're feeling confident, and all of a sudden you freeze up. You're unsure on which verb to use. It's that hesitation that breaks up your flow, even with all of the practice that you've put in. But it doesn't have to be that way. What if I told you there was a simple trick to make that decision in seconds? No second guessing, no hesitation. In this video, I'm sharing with you not one, not two, but 3 acronyms that made understanding when to use Zelle or ESTAR so much easier for my students, my clients, and even for myself. I'm going to show you why you have to know the difference between the 2 verbs, what the triggers are to use either verb in conversation, how to use both verbs correctly in context depending on the scenario that you are discussing, and I've also got a never before seen or heard tip about one of these acronyms coming up at the end of the video. What you really need is just to remember a few key categories to quickly decide which verb fits the situation. Whether you're talking about who you are, how you're feeling, or where something is, there are easy guidelines to help you choose the right word and keep your conversation flowing smoothly. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly the right strategies to use to stop second guessing when to use the verb ser or estar in any situation. So let's get into it. So first up, we've got the verb ser. All right, so ser and the acronym that we're using is doctor. The first thing I want you to understand about the verb ser is the box in red over here. Ser is used to describe things that are usually pretty permanent. I want you to bear that in mind as we go through what we're talking about with the acronym and the examples that come with it after we finish up with the acronym. So the acronym that we have is doctor. The first one says date. I like to include day or date, and you'll see why in a second. The O, the first O, is for occupation. The C for characteristics, T, time, like time of day, telling time. The second O, origin. It could be origin of where you're from, where another person's from, what something is made of. And then the R is relation or relationship. Let's take a look at the examples here. Personality traits or physical description. For origin, where someone is from, we talked about that. The R, relation or relationship. This could be friends or family members, an item that might belong to you or to someone else. So, por ejemplo, con la D, all right, with the D in the acronym. We've got day or date. Hoy es lunes. El otro ejemplo. Es el 1 de septiembre. Aquí tenemos la fecha. Here we're talking about the date. It is the 1st of September. La O, occupation, the first O, right? Yo soy médico or yo soy médica, if you're a lady. I am a doctor, talking about occupation or profession. Tú y ella, or ella y tú, son enfermeros or son enfermeras. We're talking about you and her are nurses. La C, characteristics. Por ejemplo, ella es bonita. Ellas son morenas. She's pretty. They're both brunettes or brown skin, brown hair. La T, time of day, as you can see in the pictures that we have here. Por ejemplo, son las 5. We're talking about it's 5 o'clock. Real simple. Es la 1 en Nueva York. If we're talking about the hour of 1, it's 1 o'clock in New York. Still 2 forms of the verb ser. La O, la segunda, origen, right? We're talking about origin. Por ejemplo, ¿de dónde eres? Where are you from? Una respuesta para esa, soy de Santa Fe. I'm from Santa Fe. La R, relationship. Por ejemplo, nosotros somos hermanos. We are siblings or we are brothers, depending on the situation. Y ahora tenemos el primer acrónimo con el verbo estar. Aquí tenemos place, right? And we've got a couple of arrows already up here, so let's take a look. But I want you to first remember, estar is used to describe things that are considered temporary. Its state can change. It can change from one day to the next, or 1 hour, 1 second, 1 minute. It could change. The state could change, and that's what we mean considered temporarily. In the acronym place, the P stands for position. The L stands for location. The A stands for action in progress. Didn't want to put all that on the screen. The C, condition, and the E, emotion. Let's take a look at the boxes here. Here's a little rhyme, a little lyrical thing that you can do for yourself to talk about how we feel or where we are. Always use the verb estar. If you're feeling that, let me know in the comments below. To talk about how we feel or where we are, always use the verb estar. I think I got one for the verb ser coming up at the end. We didn't put it in at the beginning, but I'm gonna hold that to the end just in case you need another bar to help you out. Here's the second thing. A particular concept to describe an action that is happening right now at that moment. That's what the A, action in progress, stands for. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, you're gaining value from this information right here, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you catch all the tips, the strategies, and easy to follow lessons so you can speak Spanish now. Now let's jump back into the information that we have at hand. All right, let's keep it up. Aquí tenemos ejemplos. The P, position, right? Por ejemplo, la manzana está a la derecha de la naranja, or china, whichever word you use. ¿Qué tenemos? The apple is to the right of the orange. Talking about location or position, right, of an item. Aquí tenemos la L, location. Por ejemplo, tú estás en la cocina. Talking about where you are located. The A, action in progress. Por ejemplo, él está enseñando. He is teaching. Condition, la C. La dama o la mujer, la señora, whichever you want to use. La dama está cansada. The lady is tired. The E, emoción or emotion. Por ejemplo, Tom o Tomás está emocionado. Oprah está nerviosa. Tom is excited. Oprah is nervous. Here is the third acronym that you could use in this situation. It's número dos for the verb estar. That's why I said we have three acronyms. There's two. You can choose which one you want to use. I'm going to show you both so you can make a decision for yourself. There's not one way to skin a cat, right? There's multiple ways to skin a cat. I think we can say that, right? So con el verbo estar, we've got place. That's the first acronym. El segundo acrónimo tenemos help. H stands for health. The E, emotion. The L, location. And the P is what we call present progressive. That's the same thing as saying action in progress, right? Present progressive is a certain tense in Espanol, and all it means is you're doing something right now at a particular moment. Once again, estar is used to describe things that are considered temporary. The lyrical drop that we put in there, talk about how we feel or where we are, we always use the verb estar. Condition, emotion, how you feel, right? That's a thing. Emotion, health. Those are things that talk about how we feel. The second part of the bar right there. Always use the verb estar when you're talking about where you are. Location, right? Position of an item. It can go with both of those. And then the last thing, a particular concept. Once again, we're talking about present progressive. A particular concept to describe an action that is happening right now at that moment. So you can see how the reasoning goes with either help or place. You make the decision which one you want to use to help remember this information. La H, health. Por ejemplo, él está enfermo. He is sick. Ella está enferma. She's sick. La E, emoción. Ellos están nerviosos. They are nervous. La L, location, localidad. Nosotros estamos en DF, o Ciudad de México. We are in Mexico City. Talking about where we are located. Y aquí tenemos otro ejemplo con la L, talking about location again. Check it out. El gato está encima de la mesa. That's kind of position, location, whatever you want to use. If you're using the acronym HELP, this is going to double up for location and position. The cat is on top of the table. Y la P, present progressive, right? That's the action in progress. Remember, aquí tenemos yo estoy hablando. I am talking. Tú estás viendo. You are watching. It's what you're doing right now, the action that was in progress. And I got your bars right here for the verb ser, for the doctor acronym. For who you are and from where, always use the verb ser. Bars, I know. For who you are, right? I'm talking about myself. I'm describing myself. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a nurse. I'm a teacher. I'm a student. You're talking about your occupation. You're talking about who you are, right? You're also talking about your characteristics, right? I'm tall. I'm short. Those are some characteristics. I'm smart, talking about personality traits. You can use the verb ser. Now, if you've made it this far, this is where I drop all the goods in my most recent videos in a segment I call Proface Power Tip. Let's see what we got. So this Proface Power Tip is the tip that no one is literally talking about. When they give you these acronyms, doctor, place, help, they always leave out this one crucial aspect of the acronym that everybody gets wrong if they don't know it. What is it? With the acronym doctor, we have to add in one additional thing. That one thing is the W. I have now changed the acronym from doctor to Dr. W. If the people didn't stick around to watch this part, they're still rocking with doctor. So if you made it this far, I want you to type in Dr. W in the comments below, because this is the one that breaks everybody's back when they're trying to figure out whether they should use the verb ser or estar. What does it say right here? The W is for where an event takes place. Now I know you're looking at me like, bruh, what do you mean? That's location. Stay with me right here. Let me drop these jewels on you. See if you can pick up what I'm putting down, and so you can understand that those are two completely different things. After I show you these two examples, I think it'll hit home for you. La fiesta es en mi casa. We're talking about an event. The party is at my house. Es en mi casa. We're talking about an event, the party, at my house. At my house is the location. So this is where we see where Dr. W, the W where an event takes place, comes into play. Otro ejemplo. Don't be fooled, right? El concierto es en el estadio. Once again, it is location. You are correct. But the W in Dr. W tells us that it's where an event takes place. What's the event? The concert. Where is it? At the stadium or in the stadium, right? So those are the differences between ESTAR, where they talk about location, versus Dr. W with the W where an event takes place. That's Proface Power Tip for you for ser and ESTAR. Now, what are our key takeaways? Number one, número uno, use Dr. W with the verb ser. Número dos, use place or help, whichever you choose, con el verbo estar, with the verb estar. So what are our key takeaways? I want you to let me know the answer to these questions in the comments below. Did you master the acronyms for ser and estar today? Do you know when to really use ser or estar in a conversation? What acronym do you like better for estar? Is it place? Is it help? Which one is it? Have you heard about Dr. W or something very similar? Give me your answers. What were your key takeaways from today's video? But this is just the beginning when it comes to these verbs ser and estar, which are two of the most important verbs in Spanish. But if you're ready to get off the bench and work on your shot using the verb ser correctly in the present tense, I want you to click on this video right here where I break down all of the different forms of the verb ser, and I'll see you over there. Soy Profe Don Omar. Nos vemos.